Have you ever wanted to play an evil character? Or have you ever played an evil character only to make the players despise you? Or do you play an evil character and want to get better? Welcome to our channel where we put the E into evil. This is the first video in our evil series. In this series, we are going to show you how to play an evil character in role-playing games without having the whole party despise you. We are going to use Dungeons & Dragons, but you can apply these roles and tips to any tabletop RPG such as Pathfinder 2, Dungeon Crawl Classics, or Daggerheart when it comes out. Consider for a moment some of the most memorable evil characters in popular culture. Darth Vader from Star Wars, Saruman from Lord of the Rings, or even Evil Ash. They're not just evil, but they're evil in a smart way. Their actions serve a purpose, their goals are defined, and they possess a certain charm that makes them intriguing despite their misdeeds. Today we are going to show you how to be good at being evil. You will learn some excellent tips for playing an evil character. By the time we are done with this video, you will know how to be extremely evil while keeping the rest of your party and DM sane, and you will have a lot of fun playing your character. So buckle up, grab your character sheets, and let's dive into the murky world of villainy together. Let's figure out how to be good at being evil in Dungeons & Dragons. Alright, we've laid out the what and the why, now let's dive into the how. How do you play an evil character without causing chaos in your party? First and foremost, communication is vital. Not only should you speak with your dungeon master before introducing an evil character into the campaign, but you should also discuss this with the rest of your party. Some games might not be appropriate for an evil character, and showing up at the table with an evil character sheet without prior discussion might lead to disappointments for everyone involved. Many DMs do not allow evil characters or only allow lawful evil characters in their campaigns. If your DM is okay with you playing an evil character, talk to the DM about your backstory, how you plan to play your character, and what evil alignment you plan on taking. The DM will be able to work with you and incorporate a story around your evil character. Finally, the DM will also be able to plan some scenarios where you can do some evil deeds where it will not affect the rest of the party or where the evil deed moves the story in a certain direction. Discuss your evil character with the rest of the players. Consider their character alignments and personalities. A lawful good paladin might struggle to work alongside a murderous rogue, and this can lead to conflicts within the party that are difficult to resolve. It's important that all players are on the same page, or at least, can find a way to get along with each other in-game. It can also lead to some fun situations. For example, I had a warlock character that had an imp familiar. My friend who was playing a paladin made it clear that he would kill the imp if he ever saw it. So each week it became a fun game of strategy of how to use the imp without the paladin seeing him. Next up, alignment. When we say evil, it's easy to imagine a rampaging beast wreaking havoc wherever they go, right? But that's not what we're aiming for. Being evil doesn't equate to mindless violence or disruption. An evil character can have a code, standards, and even principles. Let's take a moment to discuss a common misconception about evil characters. Many players might assume that evil means mindlessly violent. They imagine their characters causing chaos and destruction for no reason, justifying this disruptive style of play with their chaotic evil alignment. This, however, can prevent the story from progressing and often frustrates other players and the DM. Look at the Joker from the Batman series. Even he, arguably one of the most chaotic evil characters in popular media, doesn't kill without a reason. He has an ulterior motive, as twisted or psychotic as it might be. This underlines the key difference between a complex evil character and a murder hobo. Your evil character should have specific goals and motivations, even for their most heinous deeds. This approach not only makes the character more engaging but also allows them to better fit in with a good aligned party, creating a richer and more captivating story for everyone involved. So remember, your evil character, like any character, should be a complex individual with their own goals and motivations. Being evil doesn't equate to being senselessly violent. This brings us to our next point. Your evil character needs to have compelling and specific goals. You're not just evil for the sake of being evil. Let's think about this. Maybe you're seeking power, or you're on a path of revenge. Maybe you're a ruthless mercenary who will carry out any task if the price is right. But remember, your character's motives should serve as an integral part of the story, rather than a distraction from it. Take for example, let's say your character is a former noble who was betrayed by their family and lost everything. Now, your character is driven by revenge and will stop at nothing to reclaim their birthright. They might lie, cheat, and murder, but it all stems from a deeply personal motive. This not only makes your character interesting but also provides multiple plot hooks for your dungeon master to explore. The bottom line is, being evil doesn't give you a free pass to derail the game. As the player, it's your responsibility to ensure that your character's actions contribute to the overall narrative and enjoyment of the group. It's crucial that your evil actions still further the story, rather than hinder it. Now, another common pitfall for playing an evil character is this idea of refusing to do any good. Some players think that, because their character is evil, they would never help anyone else or perform actions that could be seen as good. But this creates a one-dimensional character and can really bog down the progression of the story. Remember, most D&D campaigns involve a series of adventures where the players are tasked with helping others who offer them jobs and quests. So think about it like this: an evil character, especially one just starting as a low-level adventurer, knows they need resources. They need money, allies, and influence to achieve their evil goals. Being a purely selfish character who refuses to help anyone but themselves is not going to be a successful adventurer in the long run. For example, let's say a town mayor offers your party a reward for taking out a local goblin threat. Even if your character doesn't care about the townsfolk's safety, they'll likely care about the reward. Or perhaps they see it as an opportunity to curry favor with the mayor for their own purposes. Playing an evil character doesn't mean you can't be a team player. In fact, being able to work within a group is often crucial for an evil character's long-term success. They may have ulterior motives, but on the surface, they're part of the team, contributing to the group's goals. And here's a critical point that can't be overstressed: even though your character is evil, you are not the villain. Yes, you heard it right. You're a protagonist. What does that mean? It means that you're part of the story, part of the party. Your character's actions and decisions should drive the narrative forward, not impede it. Think about it this way: if your character is constantly at odds with the party or doing things that undermine the party's goals, you're effectively creating a secondary antagonist for your group to deal with, and that's not the purpose of your character. Let's take an example. Imagine your evil character is hell-bent on world domination. But remember, you're playing in a party, possibly with good and neutral characters. Constantly striving for world domination can lead to tensions and conflicts that can hamper the progression of the story and the development of other characters. Instead, your evil character could have personal drives and ambitions, like a thirst for power or a desire for revenge, that align with the party's goals at least some of the time. This will keep the narrative exciting and engaging without overshadowing the story or the enjoyment of other players. So remember, as an evil character, you're not the villain of the story. You're a complex character with ambitions, goals, and a personal agenda that can enrich the storyline and bring depth to your party's dynamics. A successful evil character often has a certain level of charm and charisma. Take a look at the famous villains in literature and cinema: Lord Voldemort, Hannibal Lecter, even Darth Vader in his own intimidating way. These characters are all magnetic, with a certain allure that draws you in despite their evil deeds. So, when you're designing your evil character, it might be a good idea to invest a few points into charisma, even if your class isn't primarily charisma-based. This might not make sense from a min-maxing perspective, but in terms of roleplay, it's pure gold. With improved deception, persuasion, and intimidation skills, you're better equipped to weave intricate plots and manipulate situations to your advantage. Imagine this: you've crafted an intricate and threatening speech for an NPC, you deliver it with perfect malice, and then the dungeon master asks you to roll an intimidation check, and lo and behold, you have a negative modifier for that skill. That's definitely a mood breaker, right? Now, let's move on to character personality. If your evil character is shy and quiet, they may miss out on many opportunities to manipulate others or to spin a web of deceit. An outgoing, even charming, personality can provide your evil character with far more opportunities to pursue their goals. And what if you're the only evil character in a party of good and neutral characters? Use that charisma to gain the trust of your party members. Maybe your character can even become the party's leader, using their knack for manipulation and their willingness to get their hands dirty to help the party succeed. Remember, this doesn't mean deceiving or taking advantage of other players. Instead, it's about using your character's unique traits to add depth to the game, to the party dynamics, and to the overall storyline. And this brings us to a vital point, something that cannot be overstated: respect for others' boundaries. Remember, Dungeons & Dragons is a game, and games are meant to be fun for everyone involved. If your portrayal of an evil character is causing discomfort for others, then something needs to change. At the beginning of your campaign, or even better, during your Session 0, discuss boundaries with your group. Be clear about what topics or situations might cause discomfort or distress. The Dungeon Master has a responsibility to ensure everyone's boundaries are respected, but as a player, especially an evil character, you have a similar obligation. Dungeons & Dragons can offer a therapeutic and cathartic experience for many players, and a key aspect of that experience is ensuring that everyone at the table feels safe and comfortable. It's about creating an environment of trust, where everyone can fully immerse themselves in the adventure without fear of distress or discomfort. Remember, playing an evil character can involve committing some heinous acts. From murder to kidnap, torture to other forms of abuse, these deeds can potentially upset or even traumatize other players. So, before you flesh out your evil character, take the time to talk to the other players. Understand their boundaries, their comfort zones, and most importantly, respect them. If you can follow these guidelines and keep the enjoyment of all players in mind, you'll not only create a complex and engaging evil character, but you'll also contribute to a much more fulfilling and exciting Dungeons & Dragons experience for everyone involved. And that wraps up our guide to playing an evil character in Dungeons & Dragons. We've discussed a lot today, from the importance of communication and alignment, to creating complex and engaging characters with specific goals, the power of charisma, respecting boundaries, and remembering that you, even as an evil character, are a protagonist in your own right. Remember, D&D is a game of collaboration and collective storytelling. Regardless of your character's alignment, everyone should be working together to enhance the game for all involved. So take these tips, bring your character to life, and make your mark in your D&D campaign. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. We have more tips, guides, and D&D discussions on the way, so stay tuned. Until next time, may your rolls be high, your adventures thrilling, and your stories epic. Happy gaming!